We are supposed to solve this equation over here. Basically, whenever you see a question that says solve, what that means is that your answer will be x equal to something. Okay, so we have a fraction minus a fraction to be equal to 0. What we can do is we can add 7 minus x over 5 on both sides, left hand side and right hand side, to get this equation here. And then what we can do next is cross multiplication, or in other words, multiply this entire thing by 10. So I would have 5 multiply with 2x plus 7 on the left hand side, and 2 multiply with 7 minus x on the right hand side. That would then give me 10x plus 35 equal to 14 minus 2x. Add 2x on both the left hand side and the right hand side to get 12x, and subtract 35 from both the left hand side and the right hand side. That would then give me 12x to be equal to negative 21. Next, divide both sides by 12, and that would give me x to be equal to negative 7 over 4. Or you can also rewrite this as negative 1 and 3 over 4. Or negative 1.75 is correct as well. So I repeat, negative 7 over 4 is accepted, negative 1.75 is accepted, negative 1 and 3 over 4 is also accepted. These are just different ways to express the same thing. Next, in part B, we are supposed to solve this equation. Basically, our final answer should also be x to be equal to something. So what we can first do is to expand this left hand side over here. So basically, I have 2x multiply with x, that gives me 2x squared. 2x multiply with negative 4, that gives me negative 8x minus 3x plus 12. This is equal to 2. Simplify this further, that gives me 2x squared minus 11x plus 10 to be equal to 0. Next, I can use the quadratic formula. Basically, x to be equal to negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, the entire thing divided by 2a. So what that means is a is equal to 2, b is equal to negative 11, and c is equal to 10. So I have negative of negative 11 plus minus the square root of negative 11 squared minus 4 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 10 to be divided by 2 multiplied by 2. Simplify this further, I have 11 plus minus the square root of 41 divided by 4. Key this into my calculator and I get 4.35 to 3SF, or x to be equal to 1.15 to 3SF as well. So 4.35 and 1.15, I've got to write that over here. So 4.35 or 1.15. I need to write both of them to be able to get the full marks. Next, in part C, I have a fraction divided by a fraction. So using keep, change, flip, I can rewrite this as, it should be x. 15x squared plus, divided by 2y multiply with 8 divided by 3x squared y. So over here I'm using keep, change, flip. Basically, keep the first fraction, change division to multiplication, and then flip the second fraction. Next, I noticed that there are actually some common factors, like for example, there's x squared here, there's x squared here. So they can cancel out each other. Okay, and so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cancel them out. So I'm not gonna write them. And then I have 15 times 8, key that into my calculator. I get 120. So 120 divided by 6y squared. And 120 can be divided by 6. So 120 divided by 6, that gives me 20 over y squared. And that would be my answer. Lastly, in part D, I see that there is a fraction. And I see that I need to simplify it. Simplify basically just means that something is very complicated and your final answer should look something simpler. Right, simplify comes from the word simple. So this is a complicated thing. I'm gonna make this entire thing simpler. Okay, so firstly, I have 4 terms in my numerator. What that means is that I probably can use factorization by grouping. So that's what I'm gonna try out now. So I'm gonna split it up into 2 portions. Okay, let me rewrite that instead because it looks a bit messy. So I have ax plus 3bx plus this entire thing negative of 2a minus 6b. Because like 5 minus 3 is the same thing as saying 5 plus negative 3. Okay, so that is my numerator. Denominator, I'm just gonna copy it as it is first. Okay, then in my numerator, so in this portion here, I see that they have a common factor of x. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna write it here, x. So if I factorize out x from ax, I get just a. Factorize out x from 3bx, I get just 3b. Similarly, I look for the common factor on the right hand side. I mean the later portion of this fraction of the numerator. I see that both of them have negative, and then 2 is a common factor. So I'm gonna I'm gonna factorize out negative. I'm also gonna factorize out 2. So what I'm left with is a plus 3b. Negative then positive is negative. Okay, then denominator, I'm just gonna copy it as it is first. We can deal with that later. And this would then give me an even more simpler numerator because I can now factorize the numerator further. So I see that there are 2 terms, and this is my common factor. So I have a plus 3b and x minus 2. Basically, when I factorize out a plus 3b, I'm left with x, this x over here. And then when I factorize out a plus 3b, on the other side, I'm left with this 2, minus 2 to be exact. So therefore, I get x minus 2. Copy my numerator. Copy my denominator. And therefore, I have a factorized numerator, and that gives me 1 mark. Now next, the denominator. So I see that there's 3 terms in there. What we can do is use the multiplication frame or the cross method. So the cross method looks like this. Basically, I have something multiply with something to give me a square. I also have something multiply with something to give me negative 6b square. And lastly, add them all together, I get ab. So a square, basically that's just a multiplied with a to get a square. Negative 6b square, 6, I can write it as 2 and 3, because 2 times 3 gives me 6. And then b times b gives me b squared. So let's think about it. A times 3b, that gives me 3ab. A times 2b, that gives me 2ab. Now 3ab, 2ab, if I add the two of them together, they must give me ab. So one of them needs to be negative, this needs to be negative, therefore the negative sign is here. Because negative 2b times positive 3b will give me negative 6b squared. Rewrite this, I have 3b plus a multiplied with x minus 2. This entire thing divided by a minus 2b and a plus 3b. Oh yes, other than this cross method, there is also something called the multiplication frame. So this here is the cross method. Multiplication frame looks like this instead, but it's basically the same thing. So it will look like this, multiply, so I have a minus 2b, I have a plus 3b. A times a give me a squared. Negative 2b times a give me negative 2ab. So this times this give me this. Okay, whereas this times this gives me this. So lastly, thirdly, if I want to find maybe, for example, this portion here, that would be this times this to give me that. So that would be 3ab. So if I have this, multiply this, that will give me this over here. So that would be negative 6ab. So technically, the one on top, cross method, and the one below, multiplication frame, are the same thing. You just got to decide which one you prefer. Okay, so anyways, back to the fraction, we have a plus 3b in the numerator, we also have a plus 3b in the denominator. Basically, they cancel each other. So I have x minus 2 left in the numerator and a minus 2b left in my denominator. Then lastly, remember to write that in my answer line. Otherwise, I won't be able to get the full marks. And done, that's all. So you may be wondering where the marks are allocated for all of these questions. For question 1a, it's worth 2 marks. So 1 mark is probably somewhere here where you get rid of the fraction, or could be over here as well where you are able to expand it correctly, and the second mark is for your answer. Okay, for 1b, it's worth a total of 4 marks. So 1 mark is probably for expanding and getting your correct quadratic equation. Second mark for substituting it correctly into the quadratic formula, and the third and fourth mark for the answers, correct answers. This is just 1 mark, so you only get 1 mark if you get the correct answer. This is worth 3 marks, so 1 mark for the numerator, factorization of the numerator, 1 mark for the factorization of the denominator, and lastly 1 mark for your final answer.